Kings 2 Part 11. Truly, Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, seeing that her son was dead, rose up and put to death all the royal offspring. But Jehosheba, the daughter of King Joram, the sister of Ahaziah, taking Jehoash, the son of Ahaziah, stole him away from the midst of the sons of the king who were being killed, out of the bedroom, with his nurse. And she hid him from the face of Athaliah, so that he would not be killed. And he was with her for 6 years, hidden in the house of the Lord. But Athaliah reigned over the land. Then, in the 7th year, Jehoiada sent for and took centurions and soldiers, and he brought them to himself in the temple of the Lord. And he formed a pact with them. And taking an oath with them in the house of the Lord, he revealed to them the son of the king. And he commanded them, saying, "This is the word that you must do. Let 1/3 part of you enter on the Sabbath, and keep watch on the house of the king. And let 1/3 part be at the gate of Sur. And let 1/3 part be at the gate behind the dwelling place of the shield bearers. And you shall keep the watch on the house of Mesha. Yet truly, let 2 parts of you, all who depart on the Sabbath, keep watch over the house of the Lord concerning the king. And you shall surround him, having weapons in your hands. But if anyone will have entered the precinct of the temple, let him be killed. And you shall be with the king, entering and departing." And the centurions acted in accord with all the things that Jehoiada, the priest, had instructed them. And taking each one of their men who would enter on the Sabbath, with those who would depart on the Sabbath, they went to Jehoiada, the priest. And he gave to them the spears and weapons of King David, which were in the house of the Lord. And they stood, each one having his weapons in his hand, before the right side of the temple, all the way to the left side of the altar and of the shrine, surrounding the king. And he led forth the son of the king. And he placed the diadem on him, and the testimony. And they made him king, and they anointed him. And clapping their hands, they said, "The king lives." Then Athaliah heard the sound of the people running and entering to the crowd at the temple of the Lord. She saw the king standing upon a tribunal, according to custom, and the singers and trumpets near him, and all the people of the land rejoicing and sounding the trumpets. And she tore her garments, and she cried out, "Conspiracy! Conspiracy!" But Jehoiada gave orders to the centurions who were over the army, and he said to them, "Lead her away, beyond the precinct of the temple. And whoever will have followed her, let him be struck with the sword." For the priest had said, "Do not allow her to be killed in the temple of the Lord." And they laid hands on her. And they pushed her through the way by which horses enter, beside the palace. And she was killed there. Then Jehoiada formed a covenant between the Lord, and the king and the people, so that they would be the people of the Lord, and between the king and the people. And all the people of the land entered the temple of Baal, and they tore down his altars, and they thoroughly crushed the statues. Also, they killed Mattan, the priest of Baal, before the altar. And the priest placed guards in the house of the Lord. And he took the centurions, and the legions of the Cherethites and Pelethites, and all the people of the land, and together they led the king from the house of the Lord. And they went by way of the gate of the shield bearers into the palace. And he sat upon the throne of the kings. And all the people of the land rejoiced. And the city was quieted. But Athaliah was slain with the sword at the house of the king. Now Jehoash was 7 years old when he had begun to reign. Thank you for watching. If you like the content on this channel, please press subscribe, the like button or comment below. We'd love to get your tips. See you next time.